Good afternoon, Venus. Good afternoon, Venus. Talking about. Yeah, I'm confused actually. What we have to talk about today. I think Christian and Yusuf, they don't have any idea what to talk about. Motivating. I don't know. I don't think we can motivate you. Try not to be boring. My wife says that I'm boring, so I think, and he marries me. She marries me, right?
Because you're boring.
Yeah. Imagine you, the one who don't want to get married with me. I will consider myself, but let's just try. Go back to the first slide, please. Since Christine asked me to share something to you, I come up with a question then. Who am I and what am I? I mean, I'm not sure I'm quite successful to share anything with you, but I think I have something to convey to all of you. This is me, and this is, we call it label. It was hits 35 years ago. And the next slide, this is the oh yeah? Ah, nice. And it's there. So this is me confused, and this is me getting older. Is there any light? That's me. My mother liked this one better. My mother hated this one. And everything changes after I see this person. You don't know about this. You know him? So would you like to share it with us? Okay. Extraordinary novels. I was joining this high school, and I was one of the students joining the physics program. So in my mind at that time that I was going to enter the Bandung Technological Institute. If I'm not going there, then I decided that I'm not going to any college. Until I read this, his work is amazing. Forbidden at that time, so reading his novels is just like doing crimes. At that time, 1992, 1991. And I decided to change my course of life, and I was enrolling at the Faculty of Letters, University of Indonesia. And I began to think to be a writer. But I end up spending my college time doing this. That's me behind. My dream was still on, becoming a writer, but this is what I did. Playing footballs. After a while I get bored. College is so boring. The only one, true. College is so boring. The only one who keeps me going to college is girlfriends and other female students, right? Apart of that, college is boring. I like studying, but I don't like going to school. Yeah, the rules, you have to do that, I mean, I'm not allowed to wear something like that. When I was in college, you know, the era of Soeharto, etc., University of Indonesia, this is the best university in the country, they say something like that. So, what I did is, I tried to make money. Easy money, becoming an English teacher at LIA, 1997. Easy money, good money, so college becomes fun anymore because I have a lot of money. When I was going to campus, so it means that I can pay, you know, a lot of things that most of the students cannot buy. This is my first job. Bored again. After I graduate from college, I get bored with this job, and I joined the company. The biggest sports tabloid in Indonesia. That's me. Yes, I was thin once. These are my friends. All of them are still alive. And bored again. And I become a lecturer. This is interesting. In this university, at first. And in this university, in year 2000, in Anggrek or Shandan? Anggrek. And then I joining University of Pancasila and Polytechnic Negeri Media Creative and other universities, right? And I get used to the teaching. They invite me to become speakers in some other places. This is the one that I cherish more. So many female there. Only me and one lousy guy that we put behind. And then bored again. Back to school. At that time, after working for so many years, I think it was a good idea to go back to school. And I feel smarter after I graduate, master's degree. I feel smarter. I'm not sure I was smarter, but I feel smarter. And one thing that I knew from University of Indonesia in 2008 is they have better food at graduation, so I was so happy. And after this job, lecturer, copy editor in 2007, I became the editor of these two magazines, still in the same company. You don't know the magazine, right? It's not very famous. For Foto Indonesia Inside United. Not bored, right? This time I was not bored, but they promote me to become a managing editor from 2 magazines to 4 magazines. This is a real torture. And this guy was working for me, and he knew that it's a real torture. 4 magazines in a month. BOLA Kompas, this is our own products. This is a franchise. This is a franchise. This is a franchise. 2 years, interesting works, interesting trip, interesting people. By being a managing editor, I get to know some interesting works, interesting trip, and interesting people. Gorgeous people. Beautiful, a beautiful woman. You know him, right? Irfan Bahri. You don't know him?
Yes. Oh, I
Yeah.
know him.
Example of interesting people that I met. Rino Gatuso. Yeah, Binaro Gatuso. Girls usually know him. Yeah, the racers. Rio Herianto. Peter Spiegel. Interesting people. I don't know who she is, but she's interesting for me. Interesting work. Someone is taking a picture, and this one is taking their pictures, and I'm taking their pictures. And we call this work. That's why at this moment I feel that I have a very good job. I do nothing, get paid. This is in Singapore, if I'm not mistaken. The manager of CSR of Pertamina. We travel together. And this is Shakir Sulaiman, a player. And this is, you have just ignore this picture, please, because this is not the interesting people that I really was talking about. The famous one is here, the Indonesian soccer player and his friend. Actually, if the picture is clear, you can see that this is one of the most interesting things. When I say interesting, sometimes it means weird. How weird? This is a Fuji mountain. It's very cold, and this person is buying ice cream. Because that's
so weird.
This person is sitting in this room. This is a very interesting part of my job, seeing lunatics. And this is another interesting moment. You know these shoes? Nike, yeah, right? Using Factron, the materials that you use for outer spacecraft. The most interesting part of this coverage job is not covering these shoes, but when they gave me a pair of these shoes from Nike. Thank you very much, Nike. Just like this one. Oh no, this is the cheap one. This is the expensive one. And I still enjoy writing. I still enjoy journalism. This is what we made. This is for the first time that our football magazine features Indonesian players. Before this, most of magazines or football tabloids, they put foreign players. The English, the Italians, the Spanish. But these three people, for the first time, after many years, featured on the cover of a magazine. And it was done in my era with this guy. Under 19 of Indonesian national team. You know them? No. Yeah, some of them. Evan Dimas, his friends, right? And then we change. I tried to change with friends the face of Indonesian football journalism. You know, before this era, we always talk about the dark side of Indonesian football. But then we try to change it. I mean, if you make it interesting, it can look interesting with numbers, right? This is a rare view when we are talking about Indonesian football journalism. And then I get bored again. That's my problem. And I asked them to move me to research and development department. Because I think that when I get older, when you're in a company, you cannot do anything much if you don't do your market. You don't know your market, you don't know your customers, you don't know their behaviors. So since I have a background of researching in my educations, I asked to move to head of research and development. So this is what I do now, from meeting these important people, and this is my days now. When talking with this lady, this one, please ignore this smoking, it's not a good example. And then asking questions with this guy, the street vendors, trying to figure out what really happens with Indonesian print media, and I got the insight already. But this is actually my main job. This is my boss. I have 3 big bosses. This one is the toughest, and this is the second one. So actually they rule my life. So these jobs that get me bored all the time are just my side jobs. I'm a part-time workers, full-time dad and full-time husband. And this is the cruelest boss I have ever had in my entire life. She's cruel also, but compared to her, nothing. So what I'm trying to say is that you see my life, I get bored, I move on, right? No plan, sometimes. And then when opportunity comes, I take it. If I don't like it, I leave it. But one thing that I always do is that try to be responsible with all my decisions. I don't worry much. My GPA is 2.85. Don't make it as a good example. And I know that his GPA is low too, because he's applying for scholarship but cannot be the same, 2.85. So if your GPA is 2.9, you're smart, right? Thank you very much. Not much I can share, but hope that you don't fall asleep. Thank you.